What's up, everybody? It's me again, and it's time to lean in, bitch. We're back for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's been a while, and we have a full panel because this episode was epic, in my opinion. So, what's going on, Antonio? What's going on, James? What's going on, Chad? We literally been texting for the last hour and a half for Potomac and Salt Lake City. We're going to talk about Salt Lake City, but first off, Antonio, welcome back. It's been a minute.
Thank you. It has been a minute. I'm glad to be back. How are you, Cortez?
Lovely. And Chad, how are you today? I'm glad you could join us. First of all, I want to say something real quick. It's very late over there where y'all are, so I really appreciate y'all for doing this because it's early for me, Chad. I got way more hours in the day. But I really appreciate it. I want to say that. And then for those that are actually here too, we have people joining. So thank y'all for tuning in too. But Chad, again, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Cortez?
Lovely. You know, I'm walking good now. I'm back twerking. So life is great.
Good. Go ahead. Back twerking. No, that's right.
Exactly. So we are in this recap. We're going to talk.
Oh, you ain't going to say hi to me?
Oh, hey, Jamie. We're beefing right now, Jamie, because you was flip-flopped in the group chat, and I was just like,
Nope. It ain't my fault you're on the wrong side.
We're going to talk about that tonight. Are you drinking Fireball tonight, Jamie, or are you going to be stable?
Not stable,
I'm about as stable as Mary Crosby.
Okay.
Unhinged, baby. Unhinged.
But Mary's getting paid to be unstable.
Oh.
And I'm paying myself.
Because
I certainly ain't making shit off of this show.
Oh,
I'm locked in that Summer Walker deal. I'm locked in that Summer Walker deal. I'm getting 15 cents for every hour of my time.
5. But like I said, we're going to talk about pretty much tonight's episode because it was a lot to unpack. But we did not recap the last 2 episodes, but I'm sure those conversations will come up in this one because the drama kind of carried over to this one anyway. Mm-hmm. But before we get started, of course, don't forget to like this video. Go beneath the video, hit the thumbs up. Support. We will be here for Salt Lake City. Honestly, I really want Potomac to end so I can move Salt Lake City to Monday. But as of right now, we'll continue to have it on Sunday for as much as we can in availability. But you'll just check the channel and you'll see. But as of right now, we should be here. Okay. Nonetheless, tonight's episode, let's talk about it. So a lot happened, but at the beginning of the episode, there was a scene where Jen was talking to her business partner. I think it was Stewie. His name's Stewart. Whatever. And I'm just gonna say from that scene, it sounded like she knew what the hell was about to happen.
Yeah.
That's just what I got.
Very rehearsed. Very rehearsed.
Chad?
I thought that she was being Jen, very meticulous. She knew what gems to drop because she knew what was coming around. You know, I always think that people know they have like a conscience, so they kind of know when something is coming or they have that feeling. And that's what it felt like tonight with that scene. She just was saying too much, and it was like, girl, where is this coming from? It's like coming out of nowhere. He always with you anyway. Why are you saying it today?
Yeah.
No. It was the whole statement. The whole statement, because she made a statement. She was just like, we don't have a lot of time on this earth. So
yes, she did.
And I was just like,
I was thinking like, damn, y'all been working together for so long. He should know that by now. But okay,
correct.
But also, was he the same one? You remember last year when the video leaked of her like going crazy? Was he the one that she was talking to in the video?
No,
it was the other guy, right?
Yeah, that was the one that Lisa said Whitney gave gifts to.
The dress.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was him too. I didn't really. It made sense in the last episode, but I thought it was him too.
No, the guy she said that she did that to was Hawaiian or Polynesian or something. That's why she brought him on, because they were family.
They was Hawaiian,
like kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Stu ain't Hawaiian
at all.
Stu ain't Hawaiian. What were your thoughts? And any other thoughts, Antonio or Jamie, on this whole scene before we get to this actual cooking event? Because this is where it really got funny.
I agree with what you and Chad said. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
So let's talk about Mary's cooking event. First of all,
for now.
Well, at the beginning of the episode, she did shade all the ladies and say that basically they can't dress. And I love Mary, but I'm just gonna say that my favorite person to dress on the show is Meredith and Lisa, actually.
Mine too.
I just know Mary loves her labels, and she may don't put them together too well, but this happens a lot in reality TV, so I'm not surprised. And Chad did confirm that her pieces are real.
Okay.
That's just not reality.
He said, I don't know if her piece is real.
That's not just reality TV though. That's Instagram as well. You know, people have access to purchase all these designers and, you know, things like that. But then when it comes time to really put it together and style it, they can't do it. And I think that's Mary's issue. She got a whole fucking house full of shit and just don't know what to do with it. So she just wear everything.
Yep. Well, I mean, every part of her life matches her personality. It's quirky. It's
true.
Out there. It's her house matches her style, matches her energy. So, like, I think she's true to who Mary Crosby.
Yeah, but she thinks she is stylish, though. That's the thing.
And you can't tell her nothing. That's between her and God when she gets to the gates of hell.
I'll tell her.
Not her, God.
Not you'll tell her.
Lord.
So with this actual event, right? So cooking event, it's an Italian theme. She invites all the girls apparently, but one of the ladies gets a different invite. And I was shook at the moment she said it. And this is actually, I think I actually have the invite that was sent because basically everyone got the same one, but this is the invite she sent to Whitney. It's gonna come on the screen in 1 second. This is the invite she sent to Whitney.
Bitch.
And I'm just gonna say I'm hollering not because it's not the same invite, but because of the attire. She basically is calling Whitney a floozy, okay? In so many ways. She basically told Whitney how she felt about her in the invite.
Yeah.
From what I got.
Do you know, like back in like the 80s and the 90s, how they used to have patterns that you could purchase at fabric stores? That looks like the cover of a pattern that you would get and try to like make yourself a little blouse and then like try to style it. Like she told Whitney she was trash. She said, "This is what you could come dressed as, trash."
I was like, "Damn, Mary, you couldn't have just." I mean, I know she didn't pick up the phone, but you couldn't have just.
I know she
texted
didn't pick
her.
up the phone.
You couldn't have just texted the damn.
She
Whitney
was upset
called her
about
and Mary
that.
drug her.
So what are y'all thoughts on that? Because Mary was upset. She said she didn't answer the phone. So. She said she didn't answer the phone. She said she called 4 times. She didn't answer the phone. So since she waited till the next day to call her back, now Mary said she called back, but Whitney said she called back 2 hours later. So with that being said, I don't really know who's right, who's wrong at this point. Unless it's a law, it don't really matter. But do y'all feel like Mary had a right to be upset?
She had a right. She had a right
to be upset. She
but
not, she didn't have a right
not
to go
the level.
like
look, not the level of upset she was. She was just batshit crazy tonight.
Let me say this:
not picking up the phone.
I am still Team Mary, but when I tell you when she was fucking mad at Whitney for not dressing like the fake invite, I laughed at that shit for like 10 minutes. I could not believe she was legit upset about that. Mary, damn Mary.
Lord,
she's a control freak.
There's something just not all the lights are on in the house with Mary Crosby. Not all the lights are on in the church.
But it was a good moment, I feel like, in the Housewives. Because it's
absolutely.
It was petty. But here's the thing: when they were in my thing is, you did it to the wrong person, Mary. Because Mary, Whitney, I like her a lot last season. But this season, Whitney drags everything, and it's like. It could be this much of like hurt, but she's gonna intensify times 10 for 10 episodes, and it's like, oh my god, now we got to hear about this for 10 more episodes. How you got the wrong invite, really? And then like
you really just fucked us all up, Mary.
Even right, you just messed us up, and even in the car with Heather, I was like, also you got to know with her, you got to know that at some point she was gonna find out that wasn't the right invite. I mean, look how that's a cousin, so
right.
It was still funny though. It
was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Definitely hilarious. Like top tier.
That little like petty housewife shade is what makes these shows fun to watch. When they overreact on these little things and then really go out to get each other, you're like, girl, who does that in real life? Who acts like that in real life?
But I want to say something. So, and this is it goes to this comment from Dr. C, who Mary said that Whitney has been dodging her calls, so Mary got fed up. I honestly feel like Mary is kind of going through the Garcelle syndrome to where she feels kind of like as an
left out. Yeah.
And I think she's just reacting differently than Garcelle because she's annoyed. And because just last episode, she was hanging with Whitney and Heather at lunch.
Bring
and
her cookies.
Cool, you know, but I have something else to add to this too. I'll wait till we get to that part later. But do y'all feel the same, or do y'all think that like Mary just tripping? I mean,
no, I think it could be. She could be feeling a little left out because even when they were still sitting at the table, before kind of, I guess, the other situation about Lisa not inviting Jen, Mary even turned to Lisa or turned to them and was like, well, I don't, get invited. Maybe I'll get invited to the next one or something like that. So I do feel like it is her feeling left out, but I also feel like her kind of vigor and frustration comes out just because of other stuff that she may or may not be dealing with in her personal life, like with her husband and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Well, and you have to remember, Cortez, you've said this multiple times. Last season, she was a friend of. So there were a lot of events that she wasn't getting invited to, that she wasn't on the call sheet to show up to film. And it wasn't until they switched production companies that they were forcibly adding her on there to ramp up her camera time. So I imagine when they're redoing this, the group, like without her, has already been formed. Jennie ain't been but to one event. Jennie hasn't showed up to a lot of stuff.
And Jennie don't have to come back to no other events.
Jennie ain't got to come back.
I love Jennie. Don't do that.
I'd rather have Jennie's daughter show up to the damn event.
So I want to say
Jennie is unhinged. Actually, she's unhinged. Okay,
Jennie is a little unhinged.
She is. That last episode was she. So let's talk about it, Jamie. The situation between her and Mary. Go ahead.
Wait. I have something to say on the Mary feeling left out part. I think so. I'm gonna just say this. I think that we have to pay attention to like racial division. I don't really know how to say it, but I think that naturally these shows, like when you just put one black person with a group of white girls, it just kind of I think that naturally, if you don't already hang out with these people or if y'all weren't, lifelong friends, I think that it just kind of makes it seem like, I think Mary feels like an outsider on her own, but I also think that the women might be, just subconsciously not inviting her to things, but not necessarily because she's black, but just because she's like a second thought, like she's not second nature.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Well, and you have to remember that dinner that she was at with Whitney and Heather, they're telling Mary how much they care about her and she's their good friend, but in the same breath, they're dogging out Jen and Lisa while pretending to be Jen and Lisa's friend. So I imagine Mary's sitting there like, well, girl, you're dodging my calls. You're dogging out another friend. Like, are you doing the same thing to me? A lot of this could be Whitney's fault. When you act dodgy around people.
A lot of this season, I will say, is a lot of people are trying to turn people on each other.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to put a bug in somebody to turn. It's like, I don't even know who's going to be friends after this season. I'm worried. I don't know because it's like everybody's saying.
Mary ain't friends with nobody.
Well, Meredith seems like the only person that's kind of that's been kind of steer, other than her issues, I guess, with Jen for right now. Meredith seems like the only person that's kind of steered clear of everything. Although I don't know how Mary gonna take seeing her tell Whitney about the dude showing up to the event, but
you know what? So there was a comment where I think it was up here saying that they thought it was staged. Did y'all think that moment was staged?
With the dude at the event?
The guy at the event.
Oh, Lisa, absolutely. That's what we were talking about last week. Lisa set that shit up.
It definitely was set up. But do you think, but I almost feel like Meredith, that wasn't Meredith's first time hearing it. Because the reason why I feel this though, because it's like he was making an exit to leave the scene, but he kept trying to stick a moment to where he could stay in the scene with Meredith.
Yeah.
It's almost like she had finally given him the cue to where, okay, now
he could come over and say, because Lisa walked away and was like, I have to go take up. Somebody was like,
involved in that. Because Meredith was like,
but
this is so much. I'm like,
Lisa's the one that brought him over and said, hey, this is my friend. And Lisa made it a point to say, he's my connection to Mary. Oh no, I gotta go. And then bounced out. And so Meredith literally was standing there and that guy said, be careful. Mary could have walked away. Like, girl, what? What are we talking about here?
Out of nowhere.
But Meredith kind of dragged that too. Because one, the man really didn't say a whole lot. She was like, that's so ominous. What do you mean? I'm like, oh, girl.
She was like,
no shade. If somebody came up to me and was saying some cryptic shit like that, like, I want to know, like, has she killed people? Does she practice voodoo? Is she a witch?
What are you be worried about?
I want to know what the fuck going on. So, and then not to mention, Meredith is a, white woman. So, you know how they get. You know how they are. So, I understand why she was feeling that way.
Child, Meredith was like, "Oh my god!"
That whole scene was just
it
weird.
just broke my
But it was
That's
odd.
how you know they're. That's how you know they're green when it comes to reality TV, because Lisa, that man, and Meredith did not know how to set up a scene at all.
Well,
they just stood there and was like, all right, bye.
Lisa setups are super obvious. Lisa, I still stand Lisa, but I will say it's whenever Whitney calls her out on something, it's very like, yeah, it's kind of set up.
I will say Lisa done been in a few situations now this season where I'm like, okay, Lisa, I like you, girl, but come on now.
Yeah, I
need her to chill a little bit. I need her to take some because now it's looking like she become a Kyle, except for she is in the mess, but still it's like, because I hate when she does like she gets surprised and she just kind of like, it's like,
what are you saying to me right now? What are you saying to me right now?
Like, no, let me call Jack. I'm gonna call Jack. I'd be like, no, girl, stop calling Jack.
Jack is 10 years old.
Whoever she calling. So actually at the table, this is like I said in the group chat, I thought this moment was very intense. And I say because Mary was very upset, but I also feel like Whitney was kind of drunk too. We've seen Whitney kind of tipsy. I do feel like she was a little tipsy, and it kind of confirmed it when she gave her speech at the end afterwards. But what is y'all's take on this moment? Because basically what happened is they were talking about invites to events. Jen is feeling the way for Lisa. Lisa gave her speech and was like, basically it wasn't about y'all, it's about the kids. Meredith backed up. She did back her up and said, we can't get invited to everything. I'm like, okay, Meredith, be quiet. And it just comes down to where Jen and what's her name? Jen and Mary were not invited to the event, and they felt the way. I think Mary was trying to talk to Jen. What was it about?
So this is what Jen. They were saying Jennie was coming on the trip to Vail or wherever it is that they were going,
right?
And Jen Shah was saying, "Oh, Mary, like pretty much if something happens, I got your back." Yeah. I don't think Mary heard her, and Mary was still trying to talk to Jen, but then Whitney inserted herself into that conversation, and then Mary had like dragged the fuck out of her, and Whitney asked for that because she should have sat there and drunk her motherfucking wine.
Mary was picking at her the whole dinner, like 5 minutes.
But it don't matter in this instance. No,
5 minutes before that, they were talking about something, and I don't know if you guys caught it. Mary looked at Whitney and said, "Are you listening?" Like completely unprovoked. Like,
okay, so we just should have got her together.
Thrown around the table. Like, I mean, because there were a lot.
Here's the thing: Mary wanted an issue with Whitney that night.
She did.
Mary wanted an issue.
She wanted some smoke.
Whitney gave it to her.
But my thing with Whitney presses an issue so hard. It's like sometimes it's like just let it go.
Girl, shut up.
I feel like in this moment, I don't really feel like. I feel like has she been? And what irritated me the most is that Whitney kept saying, "I'm not a child," which then further makes you seem like a child. Because it's like you do have some insecurities. You already have issues being accepted. Yeah. You ran into this with Lisa. Now it's like you're showing.
But Mary said the same thing.
Well, no.
When Jennie yelled at her, Mary said, "Don't talk to me like a child."
Yeah.
No,
I mean, Mary said the exact same thing.
He did, but Whitney said it like 5 times.
Because she's a child.
Because Mary was carrying on.
Yeah. No, well, not to mention when Mary was talking to Jennie was fucking cussing and stuff.
Exactly.
Mary should have buried her head in the fucking snow.
I don't feel like Mary can be condescending. I feel like I've seen that a little bit in her church. So it does happen. Even when she was speaking about the
But all pastors are like that.
Right. So I'm not excusing it, but I don't think she was talking down on Whitney. I think once Whitney, because Whitney, she really acts like a child. I mean, she does. Her tone, her voice, the way it's like, girl, stay out of it. Because you're not, I don't think she's equipped to have grown woman conversations on this. I feel like it gets to a point to where it's just like you're talking to a child. I'm not even just because I agree with Mary, because that's how I feel. But I don't know.
But if we, not to fast forward, but if we are going based off of those text messages that Mary sent to her, it's like.
But did you notice we only heard what Mary said to Whitney? We don't know what Whitney said back to Mary, because you can't tell me Mary was just sitting there shooting off them messages and there was no response.
Yes, we can, because Mary's done it before. Absolutely, Mary's done it before.
No, Mary did that shit before. Whitney definitely said some shit back.
Mary is Jen Shah. Mary and Jen Shah are the same people. When they get mad, their mouths just open up and fly some shit out, which is great. good for Mary. But like, come on, let's not act like Mary is an innocent. And
I ain't saying she
but
she
you know what?
ain't innocent,
Whitney
bitch.
provoked
I really
her. Whitney
feel
didn't do nothing to that lady tonight. Whitney,
no.
Whitney inserted herself into a
thing.
conversation that she should not have inserted herself in.
They were all inserting themselves in a conversation.
No, Whitney got
Whitney was the one.
Mary was actually trying to listen to Jen.
Did you not hear Heather say? Did you not hear Heather say, "Oh, my cousin on her own on that one"? Because Heather shut the fuck up. Okay, so Whitney needs to learn when to shut up, and that's the issue. She don't know when to stop, and so it's like let them have a moment. But it's to speak to y'all moment. My personal opinion, I feel as though when Whitney was talking to Meredith afterwards, I feel like there may be some truth to Whitney gossiping about Mary, that she may have caught wind of it at some point, and that's why she's really upset. Because I don't think she's really upset about this dressing and stuff like that. I really feel like Whitney has been talking about this. I do, because she was giving so much detail to Mary. It was almost like, well, then you speaking a lot of detail. Like, have you really been talking about this lady? And Mary just found out, and then she upset. I feel like there's more to it that we don't know. So that's just my personal opinion.
And then not only that, when Whitney said, "Oh, well, now the gloves are off," which to me kind of,
it's like y'all know Whitney is messy. So let's not act like
is messy.
Well, Whitney is known. But even last year before the show started, again, we went over how the blogs were already lighting up about Mary and her church and her weird family and all the stuff that was going on behind. So all of this stuff was no secret. All Whitney did was acknowledge that, yeah, girl, I heard about stuff.
But if you're talking about it and you're my friend, that's a problem. That's a problem.
But Mary never brought anything up before. Whitney hasn't said anything on camera about it.
Yeah.
Nobody said that Whitney said anything on camera. Nobody said that Whitney said anything. It was Lisa's friend that brought the mess.
No, he didn't.
Brought it up. It was Lisa's friend that brought the mess.
Lisa's friend said that she's up some spicy stuff. She said about no cult.
That is true.
From Whitney is going to be the one to say the cult. It ain't got to do with.
Well,
Cameron.
We don't know. You're seeing it on the preview. We don't know. Nobody said the word cult.
One, Cameron is rest in peace, honey. I mean, I'm just saying that's one. And then two, like you already see, like Cameron put the bug out there that she's on some spicy stuff, but the actual cult comes from Whitney.
What Whitney did even tonight was referencing her as like God and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. She was saying that she
has pictures on the wall.
Whitney is the one. That's why I see like Whitney messy, but it's just like she doesn't own it. She wants to cry and victimize. I'm like, girl, there's some truth. Mary is not just going off on this lady for no reason. There has to be some deeper. I don't believe it.
And then which also leads me to say that this, I guess, was going to be the huge story for this season, but then Shah kind of came in and broke that up a little bit. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's still going to be I still think it's going to be a big storyline because now Mary's gone scorched earth on everybody on Twitter at one point or another. So something's going down. And all the stuff the blogs were talking about last year is coming out.
Yeah, she did call Heather a racist.
Everything but a child of God.
I'm worried for Mary.
Racist.
And there was a comment here. I don't want to say it, but it wasn't funny, but I did tickle just a slight bit. It said,
"Oh my God,
Cameron had passed, so Mary must send Jesus for him." I said, "Oh,
I'm not gonna laugh. I'm
gonna post it. Not to see who said
Cody."
I mean, Mary's tagline caught me off guard from the very first time I heard it this season. I was like,
It was
Jesus.
It was, listen, I thought it was funny, but I also was like,
maybe a little truth to it.
They say, when they come to like God's pastors and stuff like that, you gotta be careful about the stuff you say about them and stuff. So hey, I was like, Mary might be onto something.
Damn, not Mary onto something, child.
I see a couple of comments about Whitney.
Pride comes before the fall.
We do the same thing. There's a comment from Carrie Conversation says Whitney and Heather are doing the same thing as Lisa. They just come off as more likable, but I see them.
I agree, but I actually think it's more. I think Whitney and Lisa are a lot alike.
I agree.
They are so much alike, and I started noticing it last episode. I was like, Whitney's just definitely more. Yeah, Whitney and Lisa are very much alike. She's the blonde, the blonde, likable.
She's the drunk. She can't cover her tracks. Lisa can.
She is when she gets drunk. Whitney has white lady drunkenness. It's all in her. And that's why when she got up, she said, "Mary, I love you."
Yeah, I was like, girl.
I was like,
hold on a
second. Like, bring it on down.
Oh my God. I've had your back more than any woman at this table.
And I'm just like,
well, and did you catch what she said? Even what did she say? I've had your back in any more of the tables. I protected you from stuff or something like that. I was like, hold on now. Hold on, what do you mean?
Whitney, I'm telling you, Whitney gave us everything we needed to know that she been talking about Mary. She has not been
talking about Mary. She knows a lot about Mary.
She knows a lot of stuff. She has not been the friend she thinks she's been. If she
I agree.
She has not been the friend she thinks she's been.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm actually seeing it more now after hearing you say it. I'm seeing it more now. She's more than likely been talking.
She knew a lot.
Absolutely.
She did.
I think the only person Whitney's loyal to is Heather at this point. Because Whitney, at some point or another, she is not the girl that you tell anything to at all.
Yeah.
At all. Because the minute she gets drunk, whether she's beefing with you or not, she's opening up her mouth.
Yes.
That's true.
She was so ready to
You're just like, God damn, girl. Again? Again, girl, you're spilling my shit again.
I got a question. I think I know the answer already, but do y'all think Mary sent those text messages to Whitney?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
I think she sent them, but I do think Whitney was responding, and I ain't changing on that.
Probably.
Well, my thing
and the thing is, I think Whitney was probably being very innocent. Like, I don't understand why you're mad at me. What did I do? And that just pissed off Mary even more. So that's why Mary fucking ran her low.
Gaslighting pisses me off.
I love it.
But what would make Mary tell this lady, you have I look younger than you. You have
right. That's what I was
like, what?
And then she was because at one point when she was reading it, she said, Mary said, I think it was like, yes, I'm older than you, but but it's like, to me, it was like Whitney said something in reference to age, which made Mary respond.
Well, of course, as she should, because if I'm getting cussed out or called out about my Botox, I'm gonna fight you right back.
Mary ate her ass up.
Now, I do have a question for y'all. Why do y'all think she did answer? Lisa did answer, but why do y'all think she invited Whitney and not Jen or Mary?
I think it was exactly because what Whitney said. I think Lisa wanted Whitney to be, because she knows Whitney is messy. I think she wanted Whitney to be the one to get the information to bring it back to the group and blah, blah, blah.
Well, Tony, with what Cortez said, Whitney just exposed herself as already knowing the mess. Lisa probably knows the same thing that Whitney knows and knew that if Cameron brought it up on camera with Whitney would have engaged in a full conversation.
That's true.
About everything.
That's
and it would have won. It would have set her, it would have exposed Mary, but also set Whitney up. Whitney would have had a full-blown conversation, and it would have been all on camera.
Yeah.
And it would have fucked over Whitney, and it would have exposed Mary. But Whitney didn't come, so she's like, sure, Meredith will have to do.
Meredith will have to do.
Not Meredith.
Look, I don't agree with y'all this time. I actually think this one time that Lisa was genuinely sending an olive branch. I think hear me out.
I don't agree with that.
I'm listening.
I love
hear
Lisa.
me out.
I'm listening.
Out. Lisa, even though she has her motives, she has been making the effort to try to be nice to Whitney. We seem like
set the girl up at another dinner.
Listen, she has her motives again, but she's still at least trying to show that, I want us to try to, because last season their beef was really so dumb to me. It was like, why are y'all beefing? And I think that Lisa really was just like, I really don't dislike you. I just don't fuck with you like that. But, let's try to make amends.
So I think this
one time that Lisa might have really been just sending an olive branch, like, girl, come to the party. That's it.
She did. She was extending an olive branch, but I also think in her mind, she's like, okay, I'm extending this bitch an olive branch, but I'm also set her ass up to get this information. So it's twofold.
And I would believe that, Chad.
Yeah.
I would believe that if she had also invited her friends. But to exclude her friends,
it was a little weird.
It was weird that Jen didn't get an invite.
She said that Jack
definitely
part of the invite list. I'm like, oh, Lisa, girl, stop it.
But even Heather in her confessional was like, so what did Jen do to Jack and Henry to get left off the invite list? And what did Whitney do to get on it? So,
I'm sorry, Lisa.
She's not a good liar.
Lisa does not want to be friends with Whitney. Lisa was using Whitney messy ass to get that tea. She probably didn't even know she had it, but looks like Whitney already has that and more.
Yeah.
Because Whitney know what pictures are in the house. Mary has pictures of herself touching Jesus in a house.
Well, in the church.
At the church.
In the church. Okay, in the church. Okay.
Whitney was at the church. Whitney was at the church with Dion. What's her name? Her dad that looked like that singer-songwriter.
Who?
Diane Warren. Is that who did she call
Warren?
Diane
I was
Warren.
gonna say Dion Warwick. Diane Warren.
Well, I'm gonna say I still stand Lisa. I do.
That's my girl.
It shocks me that she has become that person in terms of like, setting up stuff, kind of like a villain, but I appreciate it because it's needed. She's not nasty with it, but we'll see. I mean, we'll just see.
Not yet.
We need somebody behind the scenes working. We need somebody. Not everybody can be Jen Shah screaming and cussing everybody out.
This part took me out the most was when Whitney asked, when she said, like, I'm your friend, you don't know I'm your friend, and Mary said, well, then act like it. I said, oh.
Then act like it. I was like, Mary was like mad. Even you could tell it in her damn face.
Yes, she was upset.
But did y'all catch Heather when she was like, okay, she's out of line, let's just move on? Like, I want to know, I wish they would have shown more of camera time what happened at the table. Because they showed more of Meredith and Whitney, but we didn't really get a lot of what happened at the table with Mary and the rest of it.
What Heather was saying, it seems like they were trying to get Mary to kind of, I guess, understand him, because even Heather turned to Whitney and was like, yes, like, no, really getting through to her. So just, kind of like step back and just, because it seemed like Mary just was not,
she wasn't being receptive. She wasn't being receptive to nothing.
Yeah. There is something more going on, because that's Mary doesn't have a clear connection really to anybody in the group at this point. She's already talked about Lisa behind her back. She don't like Lisa. She don't like Whitney and Heather. She don't like Jen. I guess her and Meredith tolerate each other. But Meredith,
did you see how Meredith had to like handle her though? Like Meredith was like,
but she listened though.
She did. Yeah. She did.
I think she respects Meredith.
Because she's friends with Brooks.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was listening.
Well,
we said what?
We'll see how that goes.
We're gonna see. I don't think
after Cameron went to Meredith.
So then after all this is the day of the trip. And we saw this clip earlier, but it was more in depth. And basically we find out that Meredith and Mary decides they're going to meet them in Vail. Meredith says she's in she's in Aspen. And Mary was like, she got a headache or something like that, or she gonna take her own trip. What was she was sick?
I don't know. I can see Mary taking her own. I know. I really can see Mary being like, you know what? I'm just gonna take my own transportation.
So in the previous episode,
Mary did not want to fuck with them girls.
She did arrange for them to have that stretch Hummer, so it makes more sense than not to be on the bus. I don't know where Vail is from Salt Lake City, but I'm sure it's not too far, but far enough. Maybe it's what she don't want to do. So they don't show up. But they meet at Beauty Lab, and everybody's showing all love. It's kind of funny because it's like, what's going to happen. But, Jen gets this call. And honestly, I'm going to say, Whitney, if Jen goes to jail, so should Whitney, because she turned that fucking mic off.
Because she was like, you could tell she was kind of confused, though, when Jen was like, turn the mic off. And she's like, what? She's like, turn it off. It was very, I'm not saying Meredith. I don't think as of right now Meredith had anything to do with it, but it was odd that she's like, we did something for my dad and blah blah blah. I'm like, but girl, you had put the trip together, you didn't know that y'all was gonna do this whatever for your dad, or that was kind of odd to me. But
Meredith knew what she was doing.
Meredith
knew what she was doing.
Brooke said, let's get that bitch, Ma.
But before Meredith hung up, she told Heather, "There's a couple of things that I need you to do for me." I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on?"
That is exactly how she said.
What's going on? I love it.
It was I don't know. And then I'm like, whomever that was on the phone, I'm gonna have to watch what happens live when we get off, because I want to see what Lisa Barlow had to say about everything.
It's probably her attorney.
You think so? That was on the phone.
It was an attorney. Look, the way that Jen has been conducting herself, these episodes,
was very structured. She was a Jen. Person. So for
Jen is smart as fuck.
I don't think
you can't
clearly not
operate. You can't operate a decades-long Ponzi scheme, stealing millions from people, and be stupid. Like, she's been doing this for 10 years. Jen is smart as shit. So she is on her
I think
best
she has
behavior.
some intelligence. I won't say she's smart as shit.
I'm sure
she's smart as shit because I asked.
Are you not watching Beverly Hills, Jamie?
No.
Look, Tom Girardi got away with that. Tom Girardi got away with that for 25 years.
Well, you said Ponzi scheme. You said
Ponzi
scheme.
The only reason Tom got caught is because some
the people started talking.
House. He broke his ankle. He tripped. The son came over. There was a shotgun in there.
Jamie, the car is still rolling. Remember, don't forget
the car is still rolling.
But for real though, do you think that they gave Jen that story over the phone? Because Jen kind of like came up with this. Yeah, he has internal bleeding. He had an appointment.
Oh no!
But she wasn't acting like. Because to me, I think I would have been a bit more maybe nervous or I don't know, erratic. Like, I gotta get my shit and go.
I believe
Jen was just kind of like,
I believe the story.
You believe that she was going to see Tariq saying that he had internal bleeding?
I believe.
Well, you know what? You have a friend, Chad, because there's a team Jen here. I don't know how you a team of two. But
a duo, you a little duo.
No,
you the
Chloe
and Hallie, a team Chad.
I don't think that the call was to. I'm not going to go as far as saying I think that Coach Shah was really in the hospital, but I don't think that the phone call was to
alert her that the people were coming.
Yeah, I really don't think that.
I think so.
It was so perfect though.
It was.
Stayed 10
because
minutes
people
more.
get alerted all the time. People get tipped off all the fucking time when the feds are after them. All the fucking time.
Exactly.
Well, you know what though? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Tony.
That's why she said turn off my mic.
This comment from, you know what? I ain't got time for TKC because I'm already mad at you, TKC. But this comment is funny. He said them old people didn't need that money anyway. Oh my God. See, this is why we ain't let you back home.
TKC. block CKC. But no, going back to the phone call when it came in, I'm thinking it was not her because she said, did she say hey honey or hey baby? She said some type of greeting with that type of endearment when she answered that cell phone. That was Sharif that called her.
No, but she calls her assistant baby. No. She called her assistant that. And the reason why she asked to turn off the mic, she looked at the thing, answered it, and said, turn this off. Immediately. Immediately said, turn this off.
No. She didn't immediately. She said she answered it. They kind of started. Then she said,
and then she said, turn it off. And there ain't no reason for her to turn it off. It was Coach Shah in a health crisis.
Right. That's why I'm saying that was him telling her that the people already been to the house looking for her ass.
They tipped her ass off. The first thing that person said when she answered that phone was, "Jen,
are you around anybody?
They come. Are you around? It was. I'm telling you.
Because he said, "Where you at?" She said, "I'm at the beauty lab in the parking lot."
Yeah.
It was. That was the first thing they said. It was given. Who are you around? Who you around? Who you right?
Who Can you talk? Can you talk? Turn this off. Turn this off and get me off this car.
And Whitney dumbass was like,
okay. But the minute the heat got hot, Whitney said she asked me to turn the mic off.
So it's possible. So it's possible.
Whitney sang like a bird.
So it's possible that whoever was tipping her off was probably still there with the Homeland Security?
Yeah.
Whatever, was probably still there, and they probably was like, put the phone on speaker, tell us, and she, they said that, and it probably just like scared her to death, and she was like, I gotta leave.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I would have.
But then why would they go still looking for her over there?
Because it said 12 minutes later, and clearly Beauty Lab is not far from wherever they live, so they probably left from her house or wherever and went straight to Beauty Lab.
Yeah, I can see that. But it was like and then Heather was like,
"How else would they know to go to Beauty Lab?"
Oh, let me tell you something. Heather is the worst friend when you're in trouble. Okay, because first of all, as soon as they got on the bus, she said, she said that she was going to see her husband because her husband's bleeding
at the hospital. They in a truck. It's great.
I'm like, Heather, can you at least say, I don't know?
They was like, was it a car truck? They went, yeah.
And then she was giving a full interview outside. She said, well, all I know is I showed up today. I was going to go on a trip, and she strolled up, and then somebody called and she left. License plate SWV.
She did say that.
I said, damn, Heather.
She did.
At the end, she said, guys, what if she's on the run?
That kind of tickled me a little bit, Chad. I was like, damn.
Because
they were still trying to understand what was going on. They were you could really see the confusion, though, on their faces.
My thing
like,
was Lisa.
What the fuck?
It was Lisa for me when Heather said, should we call her and tell her they're here? And Lisa said,
No,
you should not do that.
But you know what? It was the fact that they were all on that bus just talking, and you can see throughout
people
the bus,
behind them.
people just walking and swatting and
they not even paying attention to what's going on.
They not. They were not. That's something like, girl, it could have been a whole shootout, and they just sitting there like,
Bitch,
well, should we leave?
When Jennie said, I really don't care either way. Let's go.
She really did. She said, I mean, we can't do. But that was when she was thinking like something was wrong with the husband, because she was like, if my husband died, I want y'all to go have fun.
And then Whitney piped up and said she would want us to go. I'm like, girl, her husband died.
Them hoes was ready to go.
They were ready for a
They was ready to get to Vail. Okay,
they were.
They were.
And then the producer came on mad, like, are y'all seriously thinking of not fucking
The
going?
producer was mad. Like, seriously.
Mad,
producer like, look,
Lisa was like, yes.
We got a show.
We gotta go, bitches. We already booked some shit. This is non-refundable. That was a mess. They didn't even show when Teresa got arrested. Like, that was some TV. I know Andy was sitting back there in that editing room just like, yes, girls. Give it to me.
Yes, definitely was an iconic moment.
It was
iconic.
Not to mention she showed up with like dookie braids and a motherfucking fur coat.
She definitely had her dookie braids.
Baby, she was ready. How long did that take? 2 hours? I said 2 hours. Oh no, I know for a fact that took at least 5.
But she didn't have a lot of them, and they were kind of big, so it might have not taken that long.
They were pretty big. They were like what's her name? What's Angelica's friend, the black friend of Rugrats?
Susie Carmichael.
Susie
Come on, trivia.
Oh man, Chad knew that fucking answer though, bitch.
I just posted the link in the chat to do a few call-ins today. So feel free to call in. We'll take a few.
TKC call in
because it is getting late.
I wish Angie would have been on that bus when they arrested her.
Oh my God!
Why Angie?
Because she would have been a drunk mess. Good for her.
Can we talk about Angie really quickly, just like before someone joins? Because the last episode when she was talking to Lisa, I really feel like Angie regrets what she did. I think that she feels bad that she crossed Lisa, because honestly, Lisa's the wrong person to cross.
Because it seems like Lisa's that girl up and through there. So
it really is. It's like I wouldn't mess with her because she's that girl.
I love everything about Lisa Barlow.
You just think Meredith,
even if she is the villain this season, good
well,
for her.
Meredith is gonna be my favorite, like period. But Lisa Barlow. Lisa has this spicy element to her that's very reserved at the same time.
Yeah, I agree.
Meredith is not going to attack until she's actually attacked.
Yeah.
So, is it Vail where this situation happens between her and Jen? Or I wonder what trip is that? Because this is the episode.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe that is.
I think so.
You think Jen's still going to show up?
She was in jail for 2 days. Or a day? She got arraigned.
No. She bailed out.
She got arraigned. She bailed out. She bonded out. They did arrest her though.
I don't remember. In real time, I remember this incident because I actually called in on the little court day. It was like a little court call.
I remember, and then you texted us. You're so
I listened,
messy.
but I was like, it's too
You
long.
were giving us a play-by-play.
I was, but
oh my God,
that was a while ago, child.
But did y'all check that when it wasn't just the Department of Homeland Security, the New York DA was also there because that's where a bulk of the crime was being taken. I was like, oh baby, they crossed state lines.
Oh yeah,
they came. They came across the country to pick her ass up.
Yeah.
During
COVID.
So y'all don't want to call in tonight? Ain't nobody want to call in. Y'all so much
that's fine. You know, if
nobody calling in,
I understand it's late, but the link, I posted the link again for anyone to call in. In the meantime, before we lean out, what do y'all think will happen next? Like, what do y'all predict will happen?
I can't wait for them to gossip on this trip, though.
I really cannot wait.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see what happens next. I really don't want to wait until next Sunday. I want to watch it all tonight.
Yeah, I think Heather's going to be the one to make us laugh the whole episode.
You think so?
Heather's very funny. Like the stuff she's saying
dramatic.
And how she be acting, yes, it's so hilarious. And then she will lean out of the conversation in a minute and be like, all right, I do.
I'm done.
Look, Heather's hilarious.
When she left Whitney and she was like, oh, I ain't got my cousin back now. She was like, girl, I don't want no problems with that.
Bay wrote it on a napkin.
What?
He said,
my cousin is on her own. It was so funny to me. I was just like, okay.
Heather said she wanted no parts.
No parts.
Mary
Heather's
Martha
messy, but
in that moment.
Heather's messy, but she's smart. Yeah. She knows when to close her mouth.
She's smart. She's very smart. And
one thing I will say about this cast, though, I do like that. With the exception of Jennie, she don't count because she's still new, and I'm still like filling her out. I don't dislike her, but I don't really like her.
Yeah.
But one thing I love about the cast is that they all individually bring something to where it's like you can't really dislike them. You just put them on reserve for a minute. Like, I'm not really feeling you, but you still like an element about all of them because they are very entertaining as a cast. I love that about them.
Yeah,
I agree.
Whitney is this franchise's Ashley Darby. Like, she shows up.
I can see that.
Works for her check. If you were to remove her out of there wouldn't be 90% of the shit stirring going on. There wouldn't be shit happening there.
I love to see the Housewives work for their motherfucking check. Okay.
Yes.
And Whitney works for her check and her Restylane injections.
Diva said, I only like Jennie's kid.
I definitely love her daughter.
I love Jennie's kid.
So since we don't have any call outs, because no call ins, I'm sorry.
Not your work, Cortez.
I had a little margarita. I did.
You're still sipping on the Delta Margs?
So as far as, because the current beefs are slightly Whitney and Lisa, then you have Jen is kind of being she kind of like staying out of the mesh. She made a comment to have, who was that? Lisa apologized. I didn't like that because I'm like, girl, just last season they would give you the same feedback.
Exactly.
But this Jennie and Mary beef, I want to hear y'all thoughts. We talked about it in the group chat. Jamie, I want to hear your side first.
Well, I don't think so. My thing is, I don't think Jennie has a beef with Mary, but Mary absolutely did not like being yelled at. And I don't think Jennie was directing that at Mary. Jennie wanted to get the trip going. She wanted to get started. So she was just screaming, y'all shut the fuck up and let's go. It was not directed at Mary in general. She was telling both of them who were arguing.
But
Lisa
she was
kind of like,
Mary.
okay, girl, whatever, let's go. Mary did not like that. But that's also very indicative of Mary as a person. She's a pastor. You're going to respect me. You're going to talk to me with XYZ. You're not going to raise your voice. So Mary responded accordingly. I think Jennie forgot all about it later. It was like, oh, girl, we weren't joking. I mean, we weren't fighting. It was whatever. Mary is not going to forget that shit.
Mary didn't forget. Even at the table
Mary
when she said, Mary, are we good? Mary
are we good?
Sure.
She said, mm-hmm. Mary ain't going to forget that.
Mary remember that.
So, personally, I get that it was a statement at them, but you got to I look at one, Mary had the incident with Lisa. You know, she kind of started on the bus, but what I would have been okay with that statement, honestly, had Jennie not said, I'm not the one today. Y'all don't want to mess me. Y'all don't want to.
That was weird.
Yeah. It was from that point, I feel like she dragged it. And it was just like, okay, so obviously you are projecting whatever you got going on. And that's fine. I get it. It's that's a very sad, but still, like, don't use it. Just say, hey, y'all was talking too much. We'd have a good trip. She didn't say that. She said that it's not today.
Yeah.
Jennie's also given me very episode 1 through 5 Mia of Potomac, where she's very well aware that she is now a guest on a show that's already established, and she's looking for her moment. So she's in there loud, trying to be funny, doing this, inserting herself. In that instance, rather than saying, sorry, Mary, I wasn't like cussing you. I'm just saying, let's go. I'm trying to have fun.
But Mary also don't cuss either. So you know that's not a thing for her. Mary does not think she don't cuss. She will
embezzles.
She will say everything. Darn it. She will not say the damn cuss word. I'd be like, Mary, just say fuck you. Just say fuck you. Just say fuck you.
Look, I think the beef with them too is just it's like a power struggle of the minority. You know, the minority women in the circle. Because Crystal and Garcelle kind of almost had their moment. You know, Beverly Hills this season. Yeah. I just feel like it's a weird energy. Like, I try to look at it from those type of aspects as well. It's not always just, you know, on the surface beef.
Well, clearly they didn't really resolve it because they were kind of, you know, had the situation on Twitter, and then when they went on Watch What Happens Live, you know, Mary kind of threw a little shade, and then
Jennie threw some shade.
Who's gonna be on Mary's side at the reunion? I don't think she needs it. but I don't know what's going on.
Baby, judging by the way that she handled them people at that table, she don't need no help.
JP Rob said the devil has a spot in hell carved out for Mary.
Thank you, JP.
JP Rob, you better go and pray because she's going to send Jesus for you. And I want you to come back to the live, but if Jesus take you, don't take the lean. I'm just
Did you wish death? Did you wish death on JP Rob?
Never. I love JP Rob.
I
want JP Rob to keep coming back, so I need him to take that statement back because I don't want Mary to strike down.
Mary has always been like the weird, kooky, just like loose cannon person. I still love her. Mary's a fucking kook. She's hilarious. It seems going on though.
Seems like to me, Mary can't always get her thoughts together. Like when she first came in the cooking class place and the woman was greeting her, and it was like Mary didn't know really what to say back. But when she was at that damn table, she was like Whitney ass up, and that damn little wig that she had put some mousse on was shaking, and her hand and her face was changing, and her eyes
look,
baby.
That wig was giving me that wig was giving me Tiana Taylor. What was that video where Tiana was dancing for Kanye? The hair was wet a little bit.
She just put a little mousse in it, and she just left it in.
She just put a little mousse in it.
That was bad wig.
It was bad.
It was bad. Very bad wig.
It was.
But we have Toto, we have agreed on like her actual hair is actually really pretty.
Yes.
I would just say wear that. I mean, I know it
ain't that because the wigs ain't working. Really but we know Mary don't like to go to the hood and stuff like that. So, she ain't gonna really
she don't like to go to 7-Eleven. Stop. 7-Eleven at night when it's sketchy. Okay. It's not the hood.
And Mary did not lie when she said she looked younger than Whitney. Going back, because when Mary took that wig off, she had her little baby hair and her little
lied.
No, she did not lie.
She lied.
She did not.
Whitney does not look old.
I didn't say she looked old.
Whitney,
I didn't say Whitney looked old. I said that
the issue was
Mary to me looks younger.
Whitney looks a stern 26. How old do you think Mary looks?
Boy, shut your ass up. You don't even believe that bullshit.
Whitney looks 30.
I'm not saying that Whitney is an old looking woman. I think, but you can tell that Whitney has had, some fillers and stuff like that, which I'm not mad at it because
that face is natural. That was her natural.
Yeah.
There's this comment because there's a storyline coming up, obviously, like we saw, where Mary calls Heather racist. We saw it online. And so Carrie Conversations, who I love today, is saying Meredith did an interview and the guy asked, do you believe Mary when she said Whitney and Heather are racist? And let me just tell you, Meredith didn't say no.
Oh, wow.
Mary did make this allegation on Twitter, Instagram
she did.
a few months ago. So I'm curious to see how we get to this point.
Same.
With Heather. Because, Heather's supposed to be so, I ain't Mormon no more. I like black men.
Well, you and I brought that up last season when we were talking about that. Like, that was a very odd thing to say in your first interview. Okay. that's what we're leading with.
I'm very cautious at the word racist because
you always say that, Chad.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Like you have to be very cautious because the word. We know white people do things and say things that are very racial. A lot, but I don't like to call people racist just because they made a microaggression. Like that doesn't mean you're a racist. So
and even if Heather is a racist, she could still want a little BBC.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where everybody got fetishes, Chad.
Exactly.
Absolutely. But you in a group, like I say, you in a group around a bunch of white women. I feel like eventually, that's just like us. If I was to hang out with nothing but white men, eventually something that they did
it's going to rub you the wrong way.
It's going to rub me the wrong way.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if they're racist, but yeah.
Okay. Well,
I feel bad, like, because you can clearly see that Mary does not feel like she has anybody on her side. If you can tell that she feels like it's kind of her against whoever that day, whoever's gonna come to her that day, and it sucks because I like Mary. I enjoyed Mary last season when it was she really genuinely liked everybody and she was just only fighting with Jen.
No,
I felt like maybe
she was everybody. She was limited.
She just
you must don't remember that damn reunion. I think she kind of said some shit to Heather and Whitney and Lisa.
She had a moment with everybody at the reunion.
Just about everybody.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I honestly, I don't mind Mary being closer. Actually, I don't mind Mary and Jen being like a little thing. I don't. That's probably Jen is probably the fact that they got past the hospital smell. At this point, they should be good.
They should be, but you can tell Mary holds on to shit too. So,
oh for sure.
Mary is a black mama.
God bless her.
That look, don't talk to me like I'm crazy, and don't let my good air out.
Exactly.
Hello.
Mary said, "Wrong girl."
Said, I think we are going to lean out. No one wanted to call in today. That's great because we had another conversation as well. But thank y'all, everyone here, and of course, everyone in the comments. Diva, TKC, Charles, Carrie Conversations, Jason Stockhouse. I can't see it. But thank y'all for leaning in tonight. It was a great episode. So we'll be back for Salt Lake City, of course. And then, of course,
Cortez, really quick, we need to talk about you. You going to Potomac? We did talk about you incorporating the lean or something really quick because you got a shout out on the Potomac reunion tonight.
Well,
Miss Karen said she was gonna lean in. So incorporate that and get your coin. Charge her.
Child, I need to get her. I need to get Millie off of, what's the name of this show? What's her name? Millie from what's the name of this show that
Bobby Brown?
She said it before. I need to get all of them.
Get him back pay.
Get your coins.
Right.
Not
get your
Millie.
coins. And like Carrie Company said, like this video if you're watching right now. Don't forget to like this video and comment and let us know what you think about the content. We'll be here for Salt Lake City and Potomac tomorrow. It's going down for Potomac because y'all know
it was so good tonight.
I gotta put my reunion on. They're gonna try to snatch it off for tomorrow, but I'm ready.
Lord, I'll be tuned in.
Child, if your Wi-Fi works. But y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for leaning in and subscribe and like the video, and we will see y'all on the next time for the lean, whatever tomorrow or the next time. And y'all have a good night, child.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
My God. Good night, guys.